For those of us that are here that show up to meditation or have a private practice, in the privacy of their own homes, whatever it might be, whatever we can do to be the game changer, whatever we can do to emit a lighter frequency, a more positive frequency. And what we do with these meditations is we build a reserve. That's what we do. We build that so that we have something to turn to. And I know that I emphasize this and talk about this almost every time, but I urge all of you, I request all of you really from my heart that if you can take even 5 minutes or even commit to 5 quiet breaths a day, whatever you can do, know that you're doing that for yourself and you're doing that for elevating consciousness, the frequency of the shared consciousness, this collective air that we all breathe. It helps you and it helps everyone else. So even if it's a few minutes a day, even if it's through the day, 2-3 times a day, if you do 2 minutes at a time and set a timer on your phone and, or before lunch. After lunch is a little difficult, just so all of you know, I'm sure you've tried this before, but any sort of meditation after a meal, especially a big meal, can interfere, the digestive system can interfere with the awareness part of it, the attention part of it. So if you can do it before a meal for 2-3 minutes, before every meal for 2-3 minutes, maybe when you wake up for a couple minutes, and then before breakfast, before lunch, before dinner. And it really can be 3 breaths, 5 breaths, 7 breaths. It could be 2 timed minutes, whatever you can do to sustain yourself on a regular basis, to make this frequent and often. So it's 8:03, and I see a couple more people. Let me just make sure. Yeah, everything's ready and turned on. We'll start at 8:05 regardless. So that way we can, we can all stay on track and make sure that we've held the frequency for everybody who's not here as well, right? Because I think we've all become groupies and we've become a community, we've become a family. So to be able to carry ourselves through this and carry everyone else through this is so important. Yeah, Joy's here. Simi's dialed in. Awesome. Hi, Joy. Hi, Simi. You guys are in perfect timing. We're going to wait a couple more minutes and then get started. So Joy, Simi, join in the conversation if you're feeling the frequency, if you're feeling the heaviness in the air. And if you feel like that's, sort of maybe altered your moods or felt a little heavy on your heart. Yes, Joy says yes, very much. Bella, hi.
Hi.
Yep, so this is definitely going around, and I think this is perfect timing for a heart practice. This is what we're going to do today, is do a heart practice. This space around our hearts is, the organ, the heart, the space around our hearts is as important. The space that holds the heart is as important as the organ itself. Just like our physical heart is sort of that super highway for the flow of blood, this metaphysical space around our heart, it's called the heart space, the heart chakra. I'm sure you're familiar with different terms around this. This really is a super highway for the flow of emotions around our heart. I just want to make sure that everybody that's coming in is getting in okay. Hi, Shadi, thank you for being here. So really this movement around our heart space, this movement of emotions, there's a felt sense behind it. There's frequencies, there's emotions, there's vibrations around the emotions that we carry in this heart space. And just like the organ, the heart is the center of ourself, our heart space is the center of our metaphysical self. And we all know that the two are interconnected, because think about what we feel like, what the physical heart feels like, what the physical body feels like when we have a heartache, when we are suffering and we're in pain with a broken heart, what the heart feels like when it's full of emotions and happy, and what the heart feels like when it's sad, how it contracts. There's expansion in the happiness and in the loving feelings, and there's contraction in our bodies in the sad feelings. And there's a sense of cold-heartedness when we encumber or we encounter somebody who's not being very, very nice. We can pick up on these heart frequencies. We can pick up on these heart vibes. And just like our brain emits electromagnetic frequencies, the electromagnetic frequency of our heart is 10,000 times stronger than the EMF, the magnificency. It is magnificent, isn't it? And this is such a natural flow of words. And this EMF of our heart, this has been measured by JPL, right? This electromagnetic frequency has been measured by JPL. So this is a scientific fact as well. And, you know, the heart has a capacity that is limitless and boundless. In fact, in the Eastern traditions, there are 4 main heart practices, and they're called the 4 immeasurables. And the first one is loving kindness, which is metta. The second one is compassion, karuna. The third one is equanimity, which we all talked about last time, upekkha. And the fourth one is sympathetic joy, which is mudita. And sympathetic joy is not just joy we feel within our heart for ourselves, but the joy that we feel for others when we see their successes. And this is a joy where we can actually remove ourselves from and just feel for the other person. And so these heart practices, they're limitless, they're boundless, and we can actually build a reserve for them with meditation. And this is what we do in all our meditations every single time, is we're building our reserve. And I know some of you have joined in here a little bit later, but what we were talking about is this heaviness in the air that we're all feeling right now. You know, our hearts are heavy and we're feeling the weight of the emotions in this heart space. And so now more than ever before, it's important for us to keep our heart strong and to keep this space open and to keep ourselves in not a contracted space, but an expansive space. And we can even do that when we straighten our spine in meditation. You can notice the openness in your heart. You can notice when your heart is open that your breathing is different. In fact, when you meditate, and if you sit with your hands palm up on your legs, palm up like this with your hands open, your breathing is actually deeper and your heart space is more expansive. But if you meditate palms down, you'll notice that the meditation, the breath is a little bit shallower and the heart space is a little more contracted. And you can try this on your own time. You can try this during meditation when we go into meditation here in the next minute or so. So really nurturing our heart and taking care of our heart and building these heart practices, knowing what the felt sense of these emotions are in our body, is a practice that we should all do constantly, regularly, as best as we can. And so that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to tap into what our heart feels like, what this heart space feels like. And just so you know that the spiritual heart lies about 1 finger width, if anyone can see, lies about 1 finger width, right? Can everybody see this? Okay, so the spiritual heart lies 1 finger width from the body's midline to the right. So it's right here. It's right here. And if you notice, if you keep your hand on this side and on this side, you'll notice there's a difference in the vibration and there's a difference in temperature. You might feel a little warmer here and a little cooler here. So this is actually the spiritual center of the heart. And this space is the space that holds the electromagnetic frequency of our heart space. So that's what we're going to do today, is we'll do a little heart practice, do really build that reserve to strengthen our heart and to be able to dip into this heart reserve of compassion and kindness and equanimity and this space of sympathetic joy for others. When we build this reserve, then we are privy to it first. We have access to it for ourselves first. We can dip into it first simply by just closing our eyes and dialing into it. So let's start. Everyone, relax your feet. Let's be grounded. Let's make sure that our feet are flat on the ground so that we have the support of the earth grounding us, keeping us safe, held. You can close your eyes if you're comfortable. If you're more comfortable keeping your eyes open, you can do that as well. If your eyes are open, find a soft spot that you can have a soft gaze towards. And let's start with just a couple of deep breaths and feeling the earth, feeling the ground beneath us. With each breath, invite your heart to be fully present with you in meditation, anchored in your breath and your awareness. And let's take a couple of deep breaths and invite our heart, opening the heart space, invite our heart right to sit with us, to be with us. As we feel centered in the heart space, let's do a quick body scan and relax the rest of our body. Feeling the ground beneath our feet. Shifting our awareness to our ankles, calves, knees, our thighs, and now our sit bones. Taking a second to notice if there's anything held, any tightness, and letting that go as your sit bones sink deep, deep, deep into your seats. Feeling the sense of gravity pulling you down as your spine straightens. Keeping your spine supported and straight, and the front of your body soft and supple. Noticing your abdomen rising and falling with breath. And your heart space expanding and contracting with breath. Bringing our awareness, our attention to the tip of our nostrils, and just noticing the inhale and the exhale. Releasing any tension that we hold in our jaw, in our eye sockets, in our neck, in our shoulders, and in our arms, letting it go, surrendering to this moment. Our only commitment right now is to be present, being fully aware of our heart space. Our heart space is very much aligned with our third eye. So releasing any tension in between your eyebrows, using our breath to relax. Let's take 3 or 4 deep breaths at our own pace and completely let go. And if it's comfortable for you as you take these breaths, have your hands sitting palms up on your thighs so as to keep open the heart space, to make room in our home for the heart that we've invited to join us today in this meditation. Allowing our own hearts to be our special guests today, our guests of honor. And when you're ready, take your right hand and put it in that space, that heart center, right there across your heart, that space that I was pointing to. You can use your right hand if you're right-handed, or your left hand if you're left-handed, whatever's most comfortable to you. And using this biggest organ of our body, our skin, our touch, to connect with the heart space. So the two powerhouses of our body, our touch and our heart, having them deeply connect, using our touch to welcome our heart into quiet. Resting your hand gently, without force or rigor, softly, gently, as if you're holding your heart in your hands. And just notice the expansion and the contraction of the heart space as you breathe. Feel it in the palm of your hands as you breathe. If the mind distracts you and gets busy, know that that's what its job is. And gently, with the feeling of the touch on your heart, bring your mind back to join you into your heart space. And let's sit with this heart for a few more minutes, allowing whatever we're holding, any leftovers from the day, to surface, and letting it go through breath. Using our breath and our exhale to lighten our hearts if they feel heavy. And if they feel light, if our hearts feel light, then just let's use that as a resting space, as a resting place for our awareness and our tired physical bodies. Release any tension you might be feeling in your shoulder or neck, or even any stiffness you might be feeling in your left hand or your other hand. Soften that other hand and continue to feel your touch on your heart, that gentle holding of your heart space. You can even kindly ask your heart, how are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Letting your heart know that you're there for your heart. Your awareness can hold your heart gently, and this helps release any heavy emotions that you might be carrying and the heaviness that's generally in the air today. With every breath, visualize your heart getting lighter and softer and gentler. And if any strong emotions come up, that's okay. Just be with them. They're looking for a release, they're looking for your invitation, they're looking for openness to exit. When you're ready, you can move your hand back down and take a deep breath. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back into the room. With this open heart, let's take a minute to thank ourselves and each other for being here today at this meditation. Notice even when we fold hands in thanks, it's right here in the center of our heart space. We are naturally built like this. To honor this heart practice today, I wrote a little heart's dedication for you guys, and I wanted to share that with you. And this is from my heart to yours. May you hold your heart gently this week. May you listen to its voice when it speaks. May you let go of what feels heavy and cold like fear. May you hold on to what feels soft, warm, and dear. And when you feel anxious, lost, and stressed, allow your heart to lead you out of distress. Trust, believe, and have faith in your heart, for it's been your life source and life force from the very start. Thank you all for being here and sharing your Mondays with me. It's so special to have you all here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I also tell you that next Monday we'll be skipping again. My sincere apologies, but it's my husband's birthday. And then on Tuesday I start a silent retreat, which I'll be in for a week. So I will see you guys the following Monday, and all of you have my email address and my cell number and everything. So if you feel you want to do a Sunday night meditation or a Saturday or a Sunday day or Monday day, just reach out to me and I'll send out an email to everyone to see if they can join in. If not, then I will see you on October 20th. Yay, thank you, Joy. Yes.